Welcome dear students. So today we will be discussing the fourth module in the subject Environmental Engineering 1. So a fourth module mainly deals with the filtration process in water treatment. So we know that in the treatment process of water there are various processes involved. So already we discussed the screening process and the sedimentation process. So in the screening process the various floating matters or debris that are present in the water are removed by passing water through meshes or through screens. And the next process after screening is sedimentation process. So again, sedimentation process we had already discussed. There are two types. One is type 1, that is by discrete settling, and then we have type 2 wherein the sedimentation is aided by coagulation. So plain sedimentation and sedimentation with coagulation. So in the sedimentation process also the particles are removed from the water by the process of settling, wherein the particles will settle to the bottom of a tank by the force of gravity. However, what happens is that all the particles cannot be removed by the process of screening or by the sedimentation. There may be very fine flock particles, the dissolved minerals and microorganisms that are present in water which cannot be removed through simple screening or sedimentation. So such particles may be removed by the process of filtration. So filtration is actually one of the most important operations that is involved in the water purification or the water treatment process. So these are the topics that we will be discussing in module 4, that is the filtration, theory of the filtration, the types of filters, working and design of rapid and slow sand filters, the laws of head in filters and pressure filters. So we'll see what is filtration. So like I told you, it is a very important operation, and it is actually used to remove various particles like the fine flock particles, the color, dissolved minerals and microorganisms that are present in water. And in the filtration process, what we do is the water will be allowed to pass through a medium which we call as the filter medium. So usually we take sand as a filter medium. So there are other alternatives to sand also, like gravel, anthracite, etc. So sand is a filter medium, and we allow water to pass through the filter medium. So during the process, what happens is the fine particles and other minerals, etc., that will be entrapped between the sand particles. So and the clear water will pass through the filter media, and this is how we are removing. This is a process actually wherein the water is made clean by removing the fine suspended solids. So we can also say it is actually a separation of the solid liquid from the solid, and in this the liquid will be passing through a porous medium. So that porous medium we call it as a filter medium, and this is mainly a process in water treatment. It's actually a polishing step in order to remove the small flocks and other particles that cannot be removed by the settling process. So filtration, there is the actual filtration and as well as backwashing. So what is actual filtration? Actual filtration means the process by which the water is cleaned. That is, the water is allowed to pass through the filter media, and the particles will be entrapped by the sand particles or the filter media, and the clear water will be collected at the bottom. So this is the actual filtration process. Then there is the term backwashing. So backwashing means it is a simple process wherein the filter medium is clean. So like I told you, we pass water through the sand. So what happens as the water passes, the fine particles, the flock and other minerals, etc., will get entrapped between the sand particles or will fill the pores. So what happens is when we treat a sufficient quantity of water, finally the sand, the pores in the sand will get entrapped or completely clogged with these particles. So what we have to do is periodically we have to clean the filter media. Only then those stuck particles can be removed, so that again effective filtration can occur. So this process by which we clean the filter medium is called as the backwashing process. So filtration involves the actual filtration as well as the backwashing. Now this is what I already told you earlier. So it is nothing but removing the particles or the suspended matter by passing it through a filter bed. So as the water filters through the medium, what happens? The matter or the particles will be removed from the water. So this process of removal of the particles or the suspended matter, it occurs by a variety of mechanisms. So there are various actions that are involved in the filtration process. So these actions can be summarized or can be listed as next we'll be seeing what are the various mechanisms or the actions that are involved in the filtration. So they can be listed as the mechanical straining, the sedimentation, then biological action, and electrolytic action. So we'll see what are these. So these are the 4 actions that occurs during the process of filtration. So firstly, mechanical straining. So mechanical straining is actually the simplest action or the mechanism of filtration. So as the water passes through the filter medium, what happens is the suspended particles that are present in water that have a size more than the voids that are present. So we know that when sand is used as a filter medium, there will be gaps or pores between the sand particles. So all the particles which have size greater than that of the voids or the pores will be arrested, or it will be stopped from flowing below, or it will not be allowed to pass through the filter media. So what happens is, usually this takes place in few centimeters of the depth of the filter media. So we usually provide the filter media for a certain depth. So from the top until a few centimeters, what happens of the depth of the filter media, this process occurs. So this process we call it as the mechanical straining. So it is a process wherein the particles will be arrested or stopped from flowing further, and or it will not allow the impurities to get strained along with the water. So this is called as the mechanical straining, which is one of the important actions in the filtration process. I hope it is clear. Now coming to the sedimentation process. So we know that in the first process that we discussed, that is in the mechanical straining, only the particles which are actually greater or larger in size or coarser in size than the size of the pore will be stopped from flowing, or it will be arrested. So what happens to the finer particles? The finer particles will be arrested by the sedimentation action. So this action we call it as a sedimentation action. So the continuous voids of the filter media will act as the settlers. So suppose you can imagine a sand medium which is used as a filter. Suppose these voids will act continuously. There are voids continuously present throughout the depth of the filter media. What happens is that will act as a tube. So we call it as a tube settler. So in this case, the fine particles will be arrested or will be removed by the sedimentation action, and this occurs in the tube settlers. And sedimentation, of course, we had discussed earlier. And so by the process of sedimentation in the tube settlers, what happens is all the colloidal particles can be removed. So this is a second action from in the process of filtration. The first one is mechanical straining, and the second one is the sedimentation. Now moving on to the third action. So the third action is the biological action. So like I told you, after a few days of working, what happens is the sand layer at the top will become coated with a reddish brown colored sticky deposit. So as the water keeps passing through the filter medium, at the top what happens, there will be a sticky deposit that will be formed at the top. So mainly it consists of, this deposit consists of organic matter and also iron, magnesium, aluminum, silica, etc. So all this that are present in the water will be deposited at the top layer. So further again, if we keep continuing the process, after 2 or 3 weeks, another film which consists of algae, protozoa, etc. will be developed on the sand. So continuously, as the water flows, what happens is a sticky matter will be formed, and consequently what happens again, that will lead to the formation of algae and protozoa, etc. on the filter media. And this film of thin film, we call it as the dirty skin, or it is also known as the schmutz deck. So it is called as the dirty skin or the schmutz deck. So it is also this film is also something which will act as an extremely fine meshed straining mat. So the dirty skin, that will also act as a very fine mesh which can strain the water. So the organic impurities also that are present in the water are used as food by this film, and so that thus we can say that the organic matter from the water also will be removed from the water. So this is a biological action. So like I said, after a few days, what happens? Firstly, a reddish brown colored sticky deposit will be formed, and then further after 2 or 3 weeks again there will be development of algae and protozoa, and we call this layer as the dirty skin or the smooth neck, and this will act as a thin mesh or very fine mesh for straining the water, and thus all the organic impurities that are present in water can also be removed. So this is a biological action. Now coming to the electrolytic action, so this is again another function of the filter is actually to remove the particulate matter by electrostatic exchange. So the charge of the filter medium, it actually neutralizes the charge of the flock. So if the filter medium will have a charge, as well as the flock will have a charge. So what happens is, in this electrolytic action, the particulate matter that is present in the water will be removed, or it will be removed by the process of discharging or the electrostatic exchange. So this is called as the electrolytic action. And again, during the backwashing process, I told you what is backwashing process. It is actually the process of cleaning the filter media or removing the particles that are entrapped in the filter media. So during the backwashing process, what happens is the electrostatically removed material will be removed, and thus we can replace the filler material, that is the sand. So this is the electrolytic action in the filtration process. I hope the four processes are clear for you. So these are the actions that are the mechanisms that are involved in the filtration process.